You know, big show tonight.
Yes.
And I'm in a good mood, and for a reason, too. It's a great time of year if you happen to be a moviegoer, and you know I love film. It's summer, and summer's when the studios release one blockbuster after another. This is when all the really big movies come out.
It's the time to go to the theater.
Yeah, but there's a problem. With so many films to choose from, it's very hard to know which ones are really worth seeing. So I thought we'd help our viewers once again with our regular feature, Conan and Andy on the Aisle. Now, our first feature that we're going to review tonight, folks, is Lake Placid. Now, this movie stars Bridget Fonda, Bill Pullman, and a giant 30-foot crocodile. And I have to say, I found the movie pretty thrilling.
Yeah, you know, some of the scenes were really scary, really compelling. But there were some problems. I especially had problems with the scenes that Betty White was in.
Yeah. Yeah, Betty White.
And I love Betty White.
I know you do. Yeah, and Betty White in the movie, of course, plays a woman who's been feeding the crocodile for years. And for the most part, I thought her performance was terrific. But what I didn't like, and you probably didn't like either, was her constant swearing. Constant swearing, which you don't expect from Betty White.
No.
Like in the scene where she's talking about her husband, Bernie, I thought her swearing just ruined the film for me, ruined the whole movie for me. Take a look at this clip. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, Bernie was out fishing, and it followed him home. So we threw it some scraps. Well, he didn't seem to bother anybody. He became kind of like a pet who lives in the wild.
He just appeared. You have no idea how he arrived here.
No, do you?
Well, your husband, Bernie, you didn't by any chance lead him to the lake blindfolded?
If I had a... This is where I'd tell you to suck it.
How long have you been feeding this thing?
If I had a... This is where I'd tell you to suck it.
Did the crocodile kill your husband?
If I had a... This is where I'd tell you to suck it.
Enough is enough.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you're aware, but she says that line 40 more times.
Right.
That was most of the movie right there.
It's obvious they were just going for T-shirt sales.
Oh, yeah. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
You know, another problem I had with Lake Placid was the animals. They used a combination of real animals and fake robotic animals, and sometimes it just didn't work. It was too fake.
Yeah, like when the fake animals and the real animals had to interact. There's that one scene where the sheriff is confronting the wildlife expert.
Yep.
Oh, didn't work.
Yeah, the animals in that scene, I thought, looked ridiculous. Take a look.
All right, it's over. It's over. Remember, you promised not to hurt him, so...
I lied.
Wait. Hey, come on, hold up.
You know where to go, my friend.
Now just, come on, knock it off. Knock it off, put that down.
No.
Just settle.
Look out!
I thought that crocodile looked terrible.
Yeah, awful.
Tricked ya. Our next feature is Autumn Tale. Now, it's the latest from French filmmaker Eric Rohmer. Now, it's certainly a beautifully shot film, but it's very different from Rohmer's earlier works. Didn't you think?
Yeah, his movies have always been, they've been those small, sort of, you know, quiet movies. But
classy.
This time, I think he was really going for big box office bucks.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Rohmer borrowed way too many elements from big American blockbusters, and it ruined what should have been a nice little classy picture. Take a look.
Préfère que tu sois d'une amie que d'une ennemie.
J'aurais envie de la tromper, avec toi.
C'est justement cette envie que je voudrais te faire passer.
Évidemment, toi, ça t'est égal, tu ne m'aimes pas.
couldn't follow it.
No. And I really hated that character, Mini-moi.
Yeah. I love it. Our next feature is the Blair Witch Project. It's about, I think everyone's talking about this movie. It's about 3 student filmmakers who go out into the woods to shoot a documentary about a legendary witch. The 3 never return, but their footage is found, and this movie documents their last harrowing days. Now, this is a great idea for a film, and I think it totally works. I was terrified.
Oh, it scared me to death, you know, but for a low-budget film from first-time filmmakers, I was a little surprised at, like, the level of Hollywood commercialism. And I may be wrong, but I swear I saw some product placement.
Right, I know what you're talking about. It's in the scene near the very end when the character Heather is talking directly to camera. It's subtle, but if you watch very carefully, you can see product placement. It shouldn't be there. Take a look.
I insisted on everything. I insisted that we weren't lost. I insisted that we keep going. I insisted that we walk south. Everything had to be my way. And this is where we've ended up. And it's all because of me that we're here now. Hungry, cold, and hunted. I love you, Mom.
It wasn't right. Wasn't right. And when she drives away at the end in a Ford Probe. Our next film is Eyes Wide Shut. Now, this is the last film from legendary filmmaker Stanley Kubrick. It stars Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman as a happily married couple who get caught up in New York's sexual underground. Now, when Kubrick died last March, there was speculation about whether or not he'd actually finished the movie. Now, the studio insisted that he had, but after seeing the film, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I kind of think that the studio stepped in and tacked on just this ending.
Yeah, it just felt a little bit that way.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Then I was lying in a beautiful garden, stretched out naked in the sunlight. And a man walked out of the woods. He was...
I love that ending. I just don't think it was Kubrick's.
Right. No, me neither.
All right, folks. Our last feature is The Red Violin. It's an epic story of love and romance centered around a priceless violin and the people who own it throughout the years. The filmmakers jump around from century to century to tell their story, and believe me, it's all very interesting.
You know, as they go from one era to the next, though, they don't do always a very good job of keeping history straight.
Yeah, right. I know what you're talking about. Like in the 1800s, when the violin is owned by a flamboyant composer, the filmmakers pay so much attention to historical detail in other parts of the movie, but here, they get it completely wrong, and it took me out of the film. Take a look.
I'd like to play for you a new composition, which came to me recently in a moment of inspiration.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
Great soundtrack, that movie.
Fantastic.
All right, well, I hope we've helped people. I'm
hope
sure
so,
we
too.
have. And we're taking a little break right now. When we come back, stick around. Janine Garofalo going to be here.